Hello and welcome to the Stretch Zone. My name's Glenn Videlco. I'm an executive coach and learning facilitator in talent, teams and leadership, and author of the Stretch Zone. In this post, we'll explore confidence and learning, exploring the question, to what extent is confidence a learnable skill set? A question that's a big concern for a lot of people, helping us to think about ourselves and about our confidence differently. So, how do we mostly think about learning confidence? In situations when being at our best really matters, like speaking on a subject where we don't have all the information, or a difficult conversation with a pushy person. In these challenging situations, we find ourselves outside our comfort zones, and our confident best is not so easy. One of our biggest mistakes is the assumption that confidence is not a learnable capability, that you either have it or you don't, and nothing could be further from the truth. And it's no surprise we make this mistake, given our stereotypical ideas about confidence. And as a result, it's little wonder we question our capacity to learn to be genuinely confident. So, if you're worried that there's something wrong with you, that learning to be confident is not an option for you, you have nothing to worry about. Confidence is a challenge for everyone, and it's an entirely learnable skill set, yet mostly not in a way we ordinarily think. So, how can we think differently about learning confidence? Our first step is to be aware of our language. While the title of this post refers to a learnable skill set, this is not entirely accurate. Confidence is not an action or a skill we can do. Confidence is actually a state, our inner state of being, and we cannot do our state, we can only be our state. So, when learning to be confident, we're not really learning to do anything. Instead, we're learning to be something, essentially to be ourselves. So, how does the Stretch Zone turn learning confidence on its head? Well, the answer to this question begins with challenging our assumptions we've become conditioned to take as reality. When we step aside from the hype and hot air, confidence is not something we lack, that we need to learn and acquire. Confidence is our natural state, our inner state of being, where it's natural for you, me, and everyone else to be confident. And in this way, we don't really need to learn to be confident. We are already confident. It's our birthright within everyone, and that includes you. You might find yourself asking, if confidence is my natural state, why don't I feel confident? And that's a great question. And the answer is profoundly simple. While confidence is our natural state, our fears and doubts are learnt behaviors that we're conditioned into and that accumulate over time through years of being stuck on repeat. And all that accumulated fear and doubt has a way of covering over and blocking our confidence. And as a result, our confidence cannot shine through as it naturally would. So, that deeply profound inner feeling, that intuition that my lack of confidence does not feel right, that something that should be there is somehow not there, that inner intuition is entirely accurate, in the sense that our confidence is in fact there, inside us. We just struggle to access it, to access what is already there and what is never not there. And this is an entirely different paradigm of how we understand confidence and how we go about learning confidence. So, what are we learning about learning to be genuinely confident? When we say confidence is learnable, it's more about how we unlearn what doesn't work. And here are two key areas of unlearning. First and foremost, we need to unlearn our stereotypical ideas and assumptions about what confidence is supposed to be, and learn to channel our efforts and energy differently. And secondly, we also need to unlearn the ideas we have about how we think about ourselves and who we really are. To become who we are is to come out of what we are not. And we are not our fears, insecurities, and anxieties. We are not our self-limiting ideas and self-doubts, where we question ourselves over and over again. These behaviors or actions have no real bearing on who we really are. And when we come out of what we are not, becoming who we are becomes a very natural and different experience. So, what are the implications of this very different approach? The good news is, when we step aside from our mainstream misconceptions and learn to channel our efforts and energy differently, not only do we learn to be confident, releasing our natural confidence from within, we also make a very different connection within, connecting with ourselves differently. As mentioned previously, the wise teach that to become what we are, we need to come out of what we are not. And we are not our fears and doubts that we've been taking as our reality for years and years. Away from the social conditioning, our fears and doubts are no more than an entrenched learnt behavior we've become conditioned to take as reality. When we unlearn fear and doubt, how we connect with ourselves also changes profoundly within. When unlearning fear and doubt, we are in effect changing our state, our inner state within, and not only does our natural confidence emerge quietly from within, we also begin to connect with and discover who we truly are, and we are mostly unaware of, with very little idea of how brightly that light within shines. Questions you might like to ask yourself are: who am I? What is the extent of my innermost self? In what way am I limiting myself, underestimating myself? To come out of what I'm not, what do I need to know differently? How do I need to be differently? In what way am I getting in my own way? How can I step away from what I think I know about myself? In truth, none of us truly appreciates the depths and extent of our innermost selves and of our understanding and capabilities within. And no one can discover that for you. That is only something we can each discover for ourselves. Metaphorically, it's about going beyond the ocean waves on the surface in all their sound and fury, and deep diving into the ocean depths within, with its unfathomed depths and uncharted presence. A wonderful world waiting to be discovered. In summary, confidence is an entirely learnable capability area, yet not in the way we have been conditioned to think. Stepping aside from stereotypical misconceptions, learning to be confident is not about learning confidence. There is no need. We are already confident. It's our natural state. To become what we are, we need to come out of what we are not. And we are not our fears and doubts. They are no more than learned behaviors we've acquired over time. And as soon as we come out of what we are not, becoming what we truly are, our confidence shines in ways we might never have imagined. Thank you. I wish you all the best discovering your magic in your stretch zones. Trust yourself, be yourself, and enjoy yourself. Bye now.